Hey everybody, this is the PG, and I'm Jami, where we watch paranormal videos to determine whether or not they are real or fake. And if they are real, we try to determine whether or not they are demonic. And if they are, we try to help you either, keep them at bay, or how to deal with it, and which hopefully you are not having to deal with it. But, yeah. So today's video is brought to us by King Frostmare, and this is the scariest police videos caught by officers 2. And the first one was pretty good, and feel free to go ahead and watch that before you watch this one. But yeah, let's get into it and see which videos we have today and how our boys in blue dealt with it.
ये क्या? ये 3 बच्चे हैं साथ कुछ और चीज बैठी है.
A police department in Indonesia shared footage of something truly unsettling. It all started when they received reports of a strange figure lurking in an office complex. The officer who responded to the call was about to experience something he'd never forget. As seen on screen, this incident left him completely shaken. On the ground floor, he encountered what he could only describe as a pale, ghostly figure dressed in white, its body seemingly transparent. The sight terrified him so much that he immediately called for backup. As the police team searched the building, something chilling happened.
Lobby. Ni dari Ramadan tu. Ya.
Their cameras captured a mysterious figure. Just as one of the workers walked down the hallway, a person in white appeared out of nowhere, only to vanish seconds later into thin air. Despite searching every corner of the building that night, they found no trace of any intruder, no broken locks, no signs of entry, nothing. Whatever they saw that night remains unexplained. Two police officers responded to a very strange call one night. A local resident had spotted something unusual at the lake. A white figure hovering above the water for 15 whole minutes. This mysterious shape just stayed there. The witness was so disturbed by what he saw that he called the police. What happened next was caught by the responding officers.
And if I'm not mistaken, Victoria and I have seen this clip before.
It's fucking moving. Hello?
Hi.
Are you okay? Hello?
Do
you need help?
The footage isn't that great.
What the hell?
What is it doing?
I don't know. Hey!
I could be a regular person.
Are you alright?
Also, why are you backing away?
Hello? Oh. Oh my god.
Is that a woman?
I don't know what it is.
Why are you backing away?
Look at me shake. Hello?
Hey!
Are you okay?
Do you need help?
That thing don't have a face.
Are you alright?
How would you know?
What is that?
How would you know? You're not even close by. You guys are actually getting further away.
The footage ends there, leaving us with more questions than answers. Did the officers make contact with whoever or whatever was at the pier? While some viewers criticize how the officers handled the situation, others point to something far more chilling. One of the officers claimed that the figure had no face at all. Was this simply someone playing a prank in the dead of night?
We know? We don't
or
have
did these
video
officers
evidence.
encounter something
Because
that
they kept
defies
backing away.
explanation?
So therefore, we can't determine whether or not it's real or not.
Late one night in Thailand, a police officer was making his routine patrol through a quiet neighborhood. What his dashcam captured that night would end up making local headlines.
Oh, you mean that thing? The person? Okay.
The footage shows something truly bizarre. A dark figure, completely
Okay, and there's no
motionless,
shadow
standing at
either.
the side of the road. But here's where things get really strange. When the officer passed by, the rear-facing camera showed nothing. The figure had simply vanished.
Indeed.
This wasn't just some glitch that the officer could brush off.
no
The incident
shadow.
was significant enough to catch the attention of the entire police department. Even they couldn't explain what their cameras had recorded that night. Could
Yeah,
this have been an
'cause-
actual spirit?
Because if it's an actual person, you would have most likely seen when he turned to walk around the corner or whatever. But yeah, because I mean, shadow people do tend not to, have a shadow if they're in some sort of source of light. So, and for those who don't know, usually shadow people are usually a negative type of entity or spirit or whatever, but not necessarily something you want to mess with.
Caught on police cameras? Or is there a more logical explanation? Was someone playing an elaborate prank in the dead of night? One thing's for
There's no
certain.
shadow.
Whatever that dark figure was, it disappeared without a trace. What kind of presence could appear on one camera, only to vanish completely from another just seconds later?
No, I'm kind of intrigued. What building was that? Like, what was it? A political office? Was it, a church? Why else would it be there?
Deep in the woods, along a stretch of road known for its dark history, a police cruiser's dash cam captured something unsettling. The officer was simply doing his job, patrolling an area where numerous crimes had taken place over the years. At first, nothing seemed out of the
Where
ordinary,
is
but as the
this?
officer made a U-turn to
I know
head
it
back
says
to his
forest,
route,
but-
the camera caught something he didn't see at the time. Something that would make anyone's blood run cold.
Oh! Hello! Wait, is it stationary or is it moving?
There, lurking behind the trees, stood a towering dark figure. But it wasn't just its height that was disturbing. Two glowing eyes pierced through the darkness, set in a face that looked nothing like human. Nothing at all. Some who've watched this footage believe it might be evidence of Bigfoot, finally caught on camera. Others think it could be something even more mysterious, something that defies explanation. What kind of creature hides in these
I
woods
mean,
after dark? What being
First of all, it looks like he's on somebody's property. So, I mean, that they could just have something up in the woods. Because, like, obviously the whole entire, like, Bigfoot thing. Like, personally, I'm not a believer. But if you are, okay. But it doesn't move. And with most of the Bigfoot videos, they're always moving, even if there's like a car going by, right? But it's stationary.
has eyes that glow like that? The answers remain hidden in those dark woods. Along with whatever it was the camera caught that night.
Also, we still don't know where it is. Is it in the US, Canada, Europe?
On a dark night in Peru, guests at a seaside hotel began hearing something disturbing. Strange sounds coming from the beach. The calls were unsettling enough that someone contacted the police. When the officer arrived, he too heard these eerie sounds. But that wasn't all.
Le sucedió a un policía de Perú.
Hay una persona abajo.
It sounds like a squeaky swing.
Venga, venga.
I mean, the footage isn't that great.
Oiga, venga.
And, like, okay, it might be foggy out there anyway with the lights from the buildings.
Venga. Señores, nos encontramos aquí, siendo las 4 de la mañana.
4 a.m.
Mar, no sé si pueden escuchar. Se escuchan unos gritos.
Could it be a whale? I mean, you
porque esa
are
vaina,
on the
¿no?
beach, and I mean, whales do tend to make some
There in the
noises.
darkness, he spotted a woman, a mysterious figure in a white dress, walking along the shoreline without any light. After trying to get her attention and speak with
Where?
her, something impossible happened.
Where?
The woman simply vanished into thin air. No footprints in the sand, no trace she was ever there. Was this just an elaborate prank played in the dead of night?
I don't
Or did this
see
officer truly
anything.
witness something supernatural? He certainly believes he did. After all, how does someone just disappear on an open beach?
Nah. The footage was so bad.
Now to another pretty spooky capture, which was captured by Oscar, who's working as security staff in an old factory. It all started with him seeing strange shadow silhouettes at night, and at this particular one, he saw these things again, which is when he started documenting it.
Okay, he says he's by himself at night, but how do we know it's not like somebody who works there? Okay, the fact he knows where to stop, right? There has to be somebody else there. Dude, okay, the fact that it's cutting from scene to scene tells me that somebody else is there with him doing this. Because the fact that he knows where to go to look for this certain person, right? I honestly think it's fake. I don't think it's real. But we'll watch the rest of the clip. But the fact that it keeps cutting from scene to scene, there could be ample time for the person who's with him to go hide. I mean, see, he's like, right there. She's right there. It could just...
It is uncertain what exactly this black shadow is that our guard is seeing here,
It could
but he
be
swears that
other
other people can
boxes.
see her too during the day, and that she even moves around ever so often, making him believe that this shadow being is bound to this storage facility. But who can say?
He could also be lying about being there by himself.
Let's look at an older yet disturbing piece of footage from a police officer's body cam. He was responding to neighbors' complaints about strange noises coming from an abandoned house. What he captured that night would leave viewers puzzled for years to come.
Present 4-4 at this time, holding a call for help at 700 Grand Concourse. Telling of a resident, 10 Sheridan, 39 Brent, 5 Wilson, 52-41,000.
Okay, first of all, why is his gun already drawn? If I remember correctly, they are not supposed to actually draw their weapon until they actually see somebody. But, I mean, I did not go to the police academy. So, and I mean, each state is different, obviously, in each country. But Also, just the footage with it being a little bit blurry. Yes, it's an older video, so we'll try to give it some credit.
Totally group 71 Sherman.
It could be a squatter.
For Gerard. 24 female.
Could just be teenagers.
And a 50 copy for Clay.
As the officer began searching the empty residence, something unsettling broke the silence.
Yeah.
The sound of a woman weeping.
Yeah.
As the footage continues, the sobs transform into something far more sinister, almost demonic in nature.
Police department, anybody in here? Show your hands. Make yourself known.
Please let it be a real person. Oh. Oh my goodness. No. He's already braver than I am. He's already braver than I am.
Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Right now. Did you copy that?
I mean, yeah.
In the final
Yeah.
moments, we hear the officer commanding whatever's in that room to get on the ground. Then, suddenly, the recording cuts off. What happened in those crucial missing moments? Did something attack the officer, causing his camera to fail? Or was this all an elaborate hoax, a carefully crafted piece of fiction? The truth about what transpired in that abandoned house remains a mystery.
Yeah, because, I mean, with the demonic sounds, yeah, it's so hard to tell. Because, I mean, the fact that, like, the person doesn't outright charge at him, you know, it's just steadily walking towards him, it could easily be fabricated. And the fact that there's nothing else after it cuts, it's questionable.
A security officer recently started a new job that would lead to an unforgettable encounter. His assignment: patrolling an abandoned wing of an old hospital closed off for renovation. The staff had warned him about this place. They'd tell stories about spirits wandering these empty halls. Around 2 a.m., something disturbing happened. The guard heard strange noises drifting through the corridors.
Okay, he already sounds freaked out. Like, okay, I get that you're a security guard. You're supposed to make sure that everything's supposed to be safe for people. And usually in between, 12 to 3 is usually when major, like, paranormal stuff happens. The thing is that he's not alone.
A mysterious figure appeared in one of the hallways, moving silently to the left before simply vanishing. The guard is convinced he witnessed one of the many lost souls said to still roam these halls. While skeptics suggest this might be an elaborate hoax, others aren't so
Those
sure.
look like shoes.
After all, old hospitals hold countless stories of life and death within their walls. A clever prank? Or did this guard
Okay, I've never seen like that type of haunting, for an entity, like each country has their own version of what ghosts are supposed to look like, and considering I don't know where this country is supposed to be, And it looks like somebody who's just trying to pull a prank on him.
Capture evidence that some patients never truly leave. The following case was unfolding in a food court in the midst of night at a closed mall. One of the officers was apparently picking up the sounds of a crying girl from one of the cameras which was situated about the dining area. Then, as one of the patrolling officers is called over to check, he in fact discovers a little girl. However, the girl seems only visible to him. He asks her what she's doing there, to which she answers that she's looking for her mother.
It's always fascinating to see, from the monitor perspective of seeing somebody else being out there and interacting.
He continues to talk to her for a few moments and then leaves the area to pass on the report. You can tell that he seems a bit on edge, especially when his colleagues tell him that nobody was there with him.
Yep.
Very creepy for sure. During what should have been a quiet lunch break at an exhibition center, something unexplainable happened. A police officer was simply trying to get some work done when the impossible occurred.
Yep. Yep.
The officer reported feeling something pull the heavy table away from the wall. Not a gentle movement, but a forceful yank. When the security team reviewed the footage, they were stunned. They checked for every possible explanation. The officer, trained to look for logical explanations, was left completely baffled. What kind of force could move such a heavy piece of furniture in broad daylight? What we're about to see is deeply unsettling. Police officers responded to a call at a church that had stood abandoned for a decade, a place with a dark history. The reason for its closure? A series of inexplicable events that drove people away. Objects moving on their own, and most disturbing of all, the sounds of children crying. When the officers arrived with their cameras rolling, they captured something that defies explanation.
यार ये सामने क्या बैठा हुआ? ये क्या? ये 3 बच्चे हैं साथ, कुछ और चीज बैठी हुई. कौन?
What, 3 children and somebody?
ये किधर जा रहा है?
बाबा जी
आ रही है.
There, in the darkness of the old church, stood a dark figure. Surrounding it were what appeared to be children, perched on a chair. Many who've seen this footage desperately hope it's just part of some film project. After all, the alternative is too disturbing to consider. Yep. With so little known about the church's history, or what really happened that night, we're left with more questions than answers.
At least the guy isn't alone in investigating this, but that's a little bit concerning.
The following video was uploaded to the official channel of Policía Nacional de Ecuador, and it stems from a CCTV camera which was situated in the parking garage of one of their local police stations. It starts with one of their security personnel parking the car, then locking it and exiting the parking garage to start his shift. However, something strange will happen next.
Okay, it sounds like the emergency brake is on. That's where the squeaking's coming from. Also, the fact that it sounds like it's trying to turn on.
A very powerful force seems to push the car forward. Without the keys in the ignition, this of course is a very hard thing to do.
I mean, this is his personal car, right?
Many officers are telling stories about eerie encounters they've experienced down there by themselves. So, is it possible that something otherworldly was going on here?
Also, why is it picking his car, not somebody else's car?
The following material shows a team of police officers from Brazil who were called to an abandoned school. Apparently, there were some extremely loud noises, and neighbors suspected some intruders in there.
Caralho, bicho.
Yeah,
Que é
Victoria
isso,
and I
mano?
have seen this clip
Cuidado, Judá.
before.
Cuidado, mano. Que é isso, mano? Mano, não tem nada. Caralho, mano. Que é isso,
The fact
bicho?
that door is
Caralho, mano.
doing that
Mano, que é
is
isso, bicho?
very interesting.
Caralho,
And there's
mano.
nothing else going on.
Deus me livre, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano. Vai, mano.
It's not a surprise that the squad ran in fear, as they could not explain this strange phenomenon, as they had to witness the door slamming with a considerate amount of force, although nobody was even in this old building except them. Another unsolved case to this day. Was it a ghost?
Also, how do we know that they weren't there for training?
In Japan, a veteran police officer's life took a dark turn after investigating a haunted house. Whatever he encountered there, he believes it followed him home. Night after night, objects would fly across his rooms, and mysterious footsteps would echo through his apartment. Desperate for answers, he decided to set a trap. First, he placed traditional talismans around his home, ancient symbols meant to ward off evil spirits. Then he scattered flour across his floors, hoping to catch evidence of his unwelcome visitor.
Now, that's old school ghost hunting, putting the flour down onto the floor. Supposedly, ghosts will walk through it and will leave footprints trailing from wherever you leave the flour.
Finally, he set up cameras throughout the apartment to capture whatever might appear in the darkness. What happened next was beyond anything he expected.
TV turns on?
When he checked, his heart nearly stopped. There were footprints in the flour, but that wasn't the most terrifying discovery.
No? It has to be somebody. It has to be
A
somebody.
pale, ghost-like figure hovering in the darkness. This otherworldly presence
Okay,
seemed to
how do we know that, he's not married? That could be his wife. That could be his kid. Helping him out do whatever. Because, the fact that, it walks away, it doesn't vanish or whatever, is just questionable to me.
float there, motionless, before dissolving into thin air. Then, suddenly, the recording cuts off. What kind of entity had this officer brought home with him? The answers remain as mysterious as the ghostly figure itself, leaving us to wonder what really haunts the darkness of his apartment.
I think he made it up.
In In a chilling tale shared by a prison officer, we find ourselves in the dimly lit hallways of a correctional facility during the late hours of the night. One officer was patrolling when they approached a cell where an inmate had recently passed away.
Well, clearly they don't have a lot of inmates now, since it looks like a majority of the doors are open.
To their surprise, the cell was empty, and there was no draft to be felt. But could it be that a ghostly presence had caused the cell gate to swing open?
Also, the camera feed is, starting to cut out, so, which is a paranormal thing.
A strange incident in a local park caught the attention of both police and public alike. What began as a routine call turned into something that would leave even veteran officers scratching their heads. Late at night, when the park should have been still and silent, the exercise equipment seemed to have found an invisible user. The metal bars could be heard clanking against each other, moving on their own in the darkness. The sight was so bizarre that several officers pulled out their phones to record it. You can clearly hear the metallic sounds as the equipment moves back and forth, but there's nobody there. The police were completely baffled by what they witnessed. After all, it's not every day you see gym equipment working out by itself in the dead of night. Was this just an elaborate prank set up to fool local law enforcement? Now, let's turn our attention to another intriguing incident, captured by an officer monitoring a different inmate. It would appear that the inmate on screen had a visitor at the time.
I think it's an actual person, but they just don't want to be seen. It's like, yeah, sure, wave, hi.
A child seemed to materialize behind the inmate. The officers were left in disbelief as they watched this unfold live on screen. A thorough search of the cell revealed nothing, leaving the prison staff to wonder if they had just witnessed something truly paranormal. The following clip was shared by Maintenance Tunnels, and it was another recording that was captured by the dashcam of a police cruiser. That night, two colleagues were out on patrol, and they weren't expecting anything out of the ordinary at the time. However, at some point, they saw a black object running across the road.
Everyone tell me that. I'm like, look, I've been in this county since I was 12 years old. Had the farm, daddy's farm. Still got the land, and anybody coming on my property looking for no good, I'm gonna shoot them.
Absolutely. Whoa.
Was that a deer?
What was that?
Did you see that?
Yes.
Holy.
What was that?
That was on 2 feet, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 feet?
Oh my
So maybe
goodness.
a rabbit?
I thought I was seeing things, actually.
Oh my goodness. Please tell me we got that on audio or video.
Probably would have almost tagged you if that thing's recording.
You see anything down there?
Yes.
They parked the car and were giving the area this thing appeared in a good look. But of course, they could not find anything. Why this video is labeled possible Bigfoot sighting is unknown. Many people state that this looks more like a shadow figure crossing the road.
I mean...
What do you believe, though?
It's at night, so could be a deer, could be wild boar, I mean, fox, wolf, whatever, depending on where it is. And, yeah, I mean, it could have been a dog. But, I mean, at least they want to try to figure out what it was.
coming on my property to look for no good, I'm gonna shoot them.
Absolutely. Whoa.
In a separate event, footage released by the New South Wales Police Department raised eyebrows. A CCTV camera outside their station recorded a garage door mysteriously opening with no one around.
I mean, could be malfunctioning. The broom does move too. See?
Moments later, a broom was seen toppling over, further deepening the mystery. So, what do you think? What could have caused that broom to fall? Something paranormal?
I mean, if it's leaning up against the door, something could have happened.
The following video was captured by a security officer who just started at a new location. He was patrolling the floors of an old college building, which has been said to be haunted for many decades. Apparently, a student was found in one of the dorm rooms who decided to leave this world several years ago, and people swear that sometimes they can see his spirit roaming the hallways. Before encountering something rather terrifying, we see and hear our guard patrolling in which is what I assume his natural habitat.
Natural habitat? Okay. Good word choice, I guess.
All of a sudden, we see a shadowy figure disappearing behind the wall. And the man is seemingly in shock.
I mean,
he
okay,
never
it
found
is
out
kinda
what exactly
see-through.
this thing was. Perhaps the spirit of the deceased
It's possible.
student. Spooky for sure.
Totally possible. Considering how fast he ran over there, did not give the time.
Now we dive into the unsettling
For
encounters of
anybody to run
Security
off.
1275, who's sharing his experiences during his nightly shifts as security guard at a local cemetery in Georgia. There have been a lot of really creepy encounters taking place, to say the least. It all started with a random clip uploaded to his account, on which he was sharing some pretty eerie activity that he experienced, as something seemed to be in the building with him.
So, I'm actually hearing something banging on the door. I'm hoping I'm gonna catch this son of a bitch.
Okay, first of all, obviously there's another person right there, as you can see. And also, Victoria and I have seen this clip before. And, like, we'll still watch it, but a lot of stuff is just...
Bear with me, guys.
It can totally be passed
Okay,
off.
I'm back. Door was open again. Hello, security.
Well, I mean...
And after sharing
It
this
should be
encounter,
unlocked if
Josh, the
if you had to
security
go in and
guard,
check it out,
uploaded
right?
another recording in which we can see him on a routine checkup before encountering something really odd that night.
Hey, kid. Kid. I don't know where he went. This kid running from me. Kid! Holy God. Where went?
Certainly not your usual security encounter.
fact that
The kid
his
refused
footage
to
keeps
turn
on coming
around
out-
and kept walking, only to just vanish entirely. Josh didn't know what to do at the time and let the encounter go. Although he was quite baffled, he never found out where the kid went, which is a pretty big mystery for sure. But the night was about to get stranger.
This is supposed to be the most haunted cemetery in Savannah. And I am chasing a kid right now. I will not be going down that way. We just took this job like 2 days ago through the city. This is ridiculous. Somebody has definitely been walking behind me. I'm not sure.
Not alone.
I just saw some tourists from Ohio. Told them that the place closes at 10. I'm about to head back over there, but I don't know. We've got somebody that's going to be buried here tomorrow, so I'll be doing an escort. Right now, I'm just...
Josh completely missed this mysterious shadow at the time, and it was one of his viewers to point out its existence. The boy we saw earlier was still at large. However, it appears unlikely that he was the one that we are seeing here. Was it a ghost? Or perhaps somebody trespassing? Let's jump a few nights forward, in which Josh was posting another update.
Okay, I've got my taser out now, y'all, just to be aware.
Also, what's up with his flashlight not being as bright as before?
After this night, he was spooked out enough to not further document about all these strange encounters for a few nights, but he felt the need to pick his camera back up, as in this particular night he was called up to check on one of his younger and new officers who wasn't responding to his calls anymore.
I was gonna come by and check on him, and I can't get him to answer the phone. So this is a good time. If you see anything, this would be a good little video because I had no intentions of coming out here.
I call bull. But okay.
I went up and checked on the other side. And I just don't know where the hell he's at, and he's not answering his phone. So,
or you actually didn't call him at all.
It's messing with me. My older videos did not get him. I was actually just going to come by and check on him, make sure he was 10-4. But a funny story is, he said that he had PD out here earlier because he saw what looked to be a little girl was in the hallway when he drove by. When he went back, he didn't find anybody.
A bit strange for sure, but since his co-worker couldn't document any of this, some people say that it might have been just paranoia or his colleague getting a bit too nervous and starting to see and hear things, which doesn't sound too outlandish to me. Anyways, we jump forward a few days until Josh updates us with the following material.
What is going on? I'm basically just securing all this stuff right now. Just making sure there's nobody in here. Anybody in here? Hello? Yeah, but listen, you got to get out of here. You're going to have to come talk to me, okay? Where you at? I can't see you. You're correct. So you need to come out, okay?
Okay. The fact of the matter is that like there's multiple hallways in that building. I mean, we've seen it earlier in the video, but the fact that he's just staying in that one part and not actually doing his job to investigate, it's just very, very odd and incriminating towards him and what he's saying. So obviously what's going on is just, it's not real.
You guys hear this? This is broad daylight. I don't know where this kid is. Where are you?
Hallway.
This all had gotten so weird that Josh decided to file a police report about these incidents, since he wasn't sure if somebody was playing pranks or maybe something more serious was going on. And apparently a police officer came and checked the area out himself. Based on Josh's story, the officer could capture some of this phenomena himself on body camera, but unfortunately it hasn't been made public.
So what is up, you guys? So my security officer that I'm supposed to have here tonight, he came in and turned everything in today. He quit. So I'm actually hearing something banging on the door. I'm hoping I'm going to catch this son of a bitch.
And look, person.
Bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm back. Door was open again. Hello, security.
See,
Okay.
there's another hallway.
Keep opening these. Hello. Yeah. Hey, you need to come out. I'm not playing
that
anymore.
Other person there with him.
I don't know where these people are, or where.
He's not alone. We know he's not alone.
Jesus Christ.
Just.
All right, guys. There was somebody standing in the corner. I just saw that when my video uploaded, and what? The lights are flickering on and off. Hang on a second, guys.
Somebody else is there with you.
So, don't know what's going on here, but I'm about to check this out. Okay, guys. I'm really not sure what's going on here. Nope. Yeah, I'm done. This is some spooky going on here. Nope. This is why my security officer quit. Just so y'all can be witness here, I'm checking out. I'm getting here. This is my day off. I hear leaves crickling. Nope. There was a kid standing. Somebody was standing right over here when I walked right past them to the left. So what is going on, you guys? I hightailed it out of there. Don't know what that was. There was absolutely no switches in that place to turn lights on. Don't know why they were flickering. So right now I'm at the Jim Williams house.
Whatever this haunting is seems to get stronger and stronger. However, Josh didn't upload any updates on this creepy activity for a few weeks after this, and it is suspected that he needed to take a little breather from all of this. The night of this recording, however, he had to share what he saw.
So what is going on, you
guys? Or he had to, get other people to join in this hoax.
And the chapel lights just came on.
And the fact that he's saying, oh, there's no light switches in there. Dude, it's a room. It's a chapel. Of course there's going to be light switches. And he's just not looking in certain corners.
Hey, look, if
he
you're just
didn't look in that corner
you're fixing to end up in jail,
left.
you understand? So where are you?
See, he's purposely not showing where somebody else is at.
Nope, I'm getting out of here. I'm done with it, man. Nope. Hell to the no. Somebody's out here with me, or this is scary. I ain't doing this garbage, no.
And this is where Josh's saga of all the paranormal encounters on the cemetery come to an end. Sadly, some say that he quit the job shortly after, while others think that he might have grown bored of staging all these videos. Well, whatever the answer, his case is one of the most infamous ones when it comes to eerie security footage, for sure, and rightly so.
Either that or the people who actually own the cemetery, it's just like, dude, you gotta cut it out. Like, you totally gotta cut it out. You're making it look bad, and we really don't appreciate that. Anyway, thank you, King Frostmare. It was a very good video, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as well. And if you did, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that way you know when our next video is out. And until next time, just remember that no matter what, no matter where, no matter how, you are loved. Later.